A lot of what you're doing is about data, right? So it's about working out what these companies are doing, whether what they tell you matches up with what they're doing. So you must be very data hungry to try and work out what companies are doing, where you should invest, what you should avoid, how you get through to that company to actually make an impact, to make a vote, make a difference. Does AI help with that? Because AI is not great at all things. It's the way it comes up with phantom things that don't exist is somewhat worrying. But from the point of view of data, if you're looking for data, or if you've got a huge volume of data that you just need to crunch through, it feels like we're getting to a point where AI can do that in a much faster, more efficient, more accurate way than a human being. So does that evolution, is that bringing a change in investment management where you are able to drive costs down, whether that's drive costs down on the active, or whether you see that actually you get to a place where passives could deliver much more than they currently deliver just because of the power of what's being achieved by AI?
Yes, so definitely a way to use AI in order to data scrape and aggregate has been actually around for quite a bit. It's getting better now. I think one thing that we need to be aware of is that the frameworks that then assess that data for us to then make a judgment on the sustainability or responsibility of a business, there's ethics involved there and values involved there. And so I think devising the framework with which to analyze that data and then make judgment calls on that data, I think still there's way to go for the AI to take that over. So what we are seeing more of is a mix between kind of efficiency is on data aggregation and summing it up and creating great spreadsheets, essentially, but then still a human devising the judgment framework and the assessment framework with which that data then gets funneled into, let's say, an environmental, social, and governance score, right? Which then gets fed into our future leaders portfolios, which are our passive portfolio. So there's somewhere it can really add value and efficiencies and drive costs down. Somewhere we need to be wary for kind of moral judgments to be made by AI, unless it's really trained on some of the ethics that underlie us all, which I think we're still a little bit away from.
Yeah, possibly moving in the opposite direction, maybe even.
Exactly.
So there is still going to be room for human beings, and
well, I think so.
Yeah, good. Okay, great, fantastic. So. Still staying on that theme, really. I mean, you as a firm and we as a firm are both subject to regulation. We've got a regulator. We share the same regulator in the Financial Conduct Authority. We're not always popular amongst our peer group for saying that actually we broadly think they're doing a good job, and whilst not perfect, they are preventing a lot of harm.